So you went to go see an energy healer.
I sure did.
And she told you what?
Okay, so the most jarring thing she told me was that I had, she has cleared it since, but I had a djinn, or what she described as an evil little elf in my uterus.
So you had an evil little elf in your uterus.
Yes. That had this like dark cloud around it and was inherited from my mother, apparently.
Okay.
So she then went on to clear the evil elf.
Said elf.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. The said elf. She waved a magnet around my body. I was like, what the fuck is this lady doing? And why am I paying for this? And she's like swinging this pendulum around in my face. And I'm like, oh my God, what did I sign up for? Like, I do weird stuff all the time, but like this is like topping the list.
I was gonna be like, that's next level.
Yeah.
Like, first you're telling me there's an elf in my uterus. Mm-hmm. You're telling me it's called a djinn.
Yeah.
And then you're waving a magnet around me.
Yeah. You're just like waving this magnet around me. And then though, I felt a chill.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. I felt this like chill from like, I would say my hips to my head. And like this like whoosh feeling.
Wow. Okay.
And as it happened, she was trembling. She was like, and if the whoosh and the chill didn't happen, I'd be like, again, what did I fucking sign up for?
Yeah, you'd be like, what did you bestow on me?
Yeah.
I have questions.
Like, what did I get myself into now? Mm-hmm. But like feeling that and then her like trembling and she said, did you feel that? I was like, actually, yes. She's like, well, it's gone. It's cleared.
Where did it go?
I don't know.
That's my question.
Out of my head?
Okay, where did it go? Like,
out of my head somehow? I don't know.
Personally, I believe in all of this energy healing stuff and like intuitive ability and whatnot. But I agree with you. If I was in your place and I didn't feel that chill, I would first confirm like, am I cold?
Yeah.
Or am I actually feeling what I'm feeling?
Yeah.
I think that there's just that, what's the word for it? Just questioning everything.
Yeah.
Going into this stuff. But I feel like doing that makes me trust it more if something does happen.
Oh, yeah.
It's like being open to it, but still questioning everything.
Yeah. I mean, I still, listen, like I said, I do weird woo-woo shit all the time. Mm-hmm. And I was in there and I was like, I'm going to give this my all. And then she's waving this magnet around telling me there's an elf in my uterus. And I'm like, I gotta go. But no, it was great. Have you ever done anything like that?
No, I have not personally. I mean, I can read like psychically like for other people, which is really cool. And people have read for me, but nothing. I don't think that there's anything attached to me, but sometimes I question if something's like following me.
Okay.
So, that's like that's like a whole thing.
I mean, you mean like an energy following you?
Yes, but I'm pretty positive that it's like my grandma.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that it's an energy that I don't know.
Yeah, like nothing dark or like
But did you feel like there was something before this? Because what brought you to going to an energy healer? Because that's, I guess, that's the real question. Because something must have been up.
Well, I was just having a string of bad luck.
Yeah.
I was kneeling down one day, tore my meniscus, had to get surgery. I had been doing physical therapy for months, graduated physical therapy, and the next day got into a bad car accident, like got messed up.
Literally the next day.
The next day. And my acupuncturist was like, whatever's happening to you does not belong to you. Like, please go get seen.
Yeah.
And I went to see this energy healer. She was in my acupuncturist's office. And she cleared the evil elf and apparently 7 other energies that were attached to me.
7?
Yeah. But
so the evil elf plus its posse of 7.
Like Kate plus 8. Yeah. Yeah.
Nikki plus 8.
Exactly. Me and my 8 dark energies.
You and your dark energies.
And the head elf.
I just picture them all as like little elves.
I know, like cute
and the head
ones.
elf in the uterus.
Yes. Yeah, so she cleared those energies, but she said also like, you know, she's like, you're a hairdresser, you work with people. Like that's a normal thing. And I do feel like that happens when you're working on people so closely.
Yeah.
And having intimate conversations with them.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, we talk about everything under the sun.
Literally.
And I don't know how, because we're half doing it over a blow dryer most of the time.
We're like, let me talk about my trauma from when I was 7.
Let's bond. So what's your PTSD?
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
what happened when you were 7?
Exactly.
It's, I think, the way that women bond.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be. And I'm sure that, do you believe that it happens like a lot like that in like this space? We're sitting in your salon right now, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to the Self-Love Archives podcast. I'm your host, Julia Salvia, also known as your self-love bestie. Hi, besties. Welcome back, or welcome if you are a new listener here. I'm so excited for you to hear this episode. I'm chatting with not only one of my good friends, but also the talent, the artistry behind this gorgeous hair of mine, and that is Nikki Grebel, the owner of Willow and Jade Hair Salon in Belmar, New Jersey. I know you've already heard a little bit about our conversation about energies, and what does that have to do with self-love? Well, you are going to find out in the rest of the episode. So keep on listening, and I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, this place especially, I think, just opens people up. They feel comfortable, first of all, but I don't know. I think there's something energetically about this space that makes people feel like safe and like able to be seen and heard. And I tell my girls all the time, the young stylists who are afraid to talk to people, I'm like, talk to them, because you have no idea how cool your clients probably are.
Oh, yeah.
Like, imagine I never talked to you. That'd be crazy.
I know how sad it would be if I didn't get to know you. We wouldn't be sitting here.
That's what I'm saying.
But so your name is Nikki.
Sure is.
And you own
Willow and Jade right here in Belmar, New Jersey. We're a hair salon first and foremost, but we do bridal makeup and styling and stuff like that. We have stylists that specialize in pretty much any hair type here. And
I mean, I've seen some of the crazy work that you guys can do here. It's insane.
It's
like,
crazy.
I feel like I'm just like on that level of very basic. But the fact that can be done so well, and then to see some of the crazy like artistic work on someone's head that people can do here.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I look at it, the one that was like nail polish and ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
That was sick. Or the calico cat.
Yep. Yeah, Jules does some crazy color work. It's artistry, honestly.
Really, it's insane.
Yeah.
And I've never seen anything like it.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's awesome because we hired everyone for culture. So we wanted everyone to give that feel of, we care about our clients. It's not just about them.
Yeah.
So like, they're delivering amazing work like that, but they're also making the client feel like they have an experience.
Of course.
Yeah.
Which is so important, I think, in any business, but I think most especially like the salon hairstyling business, because there's just some bad rep going on with like hair salons. I guess more internally, like I haven't experienced it as I take that back.
No.
Why? I was going to say, and not here. Definitely
thank
not
God.
here. Because I do get my hair done at Willow and Jade with Nikki.
Yes.
Absolutely no bad energy. Every time I come here, like I'm excited to show up. I'm excited to chat. Like I'm excited to just have a girl's time.
Oh, please. But everyone sees your name in the book and they're like, Julia's coming in.
Aww, they're so cute. I even I'm like, hi, we know who you are.
Exactly.
Like you answered the phone that one time, you're like, we have caller ID.
Yeah.
I know who you
Hey,
are.
girl.
I'm working the front today. I see that you're calling.
Yeah.
But in other places, I've definitely heard from other people how bad sometimes the atmosphere can be in salons. Yeah. And I think that's so amazing that you really built this place on the premise of not just having people who are skilled to do the work, but creating the atmosphere of people to create a better atmosphere for clients. Oh, that's so important. That's how I hire too, or how I choose to have people on my team. You give me a bad feeling, I don't want you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The hiring process is crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to my gut.
Yeah, exactly. And now that we have like a team that knows the drill and they're like, we know how we have to show up. If we're hiring anyone else, we're doing working interviews and they have to be around the team and the team will tell us.
Yeah.
You know, we had one girl, she was in for 2 hours and they were like, we don't know if it's a good fit. And I was like, all right, she's out. I trust you guys, you know?
Yeah, that's so good. And
Thank you.
I think, of course, and to feel like you can build that trust with people, like as if they're, you know, they have the respect for you as a boss, but also that you're a friend and that they can come to you, I feel like creates such a safe work environment too.
Yeah.
Which is so missing in so many workplaces.
Yeah.
It's so important.
That took a while for us to really figure that out.
Yeah.
Because we started the salon in 2022. A lot of our friends came to work for us. Mm-hmm. And I'd been managing the salon we were at in the past, but it's different when you own.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So our friends came, they're like, yeah, we're going to be doing hair with our friends. And we're like, actually, like we have boundaries and standards, you know? And, you know, there was a lot to navigate there.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh my God, we have a team of, I think the highest number we had at one time was there were 17 of us. Mm-hmm. And we were like, how do we give everyone individual attention?
Yep, because that's a lot of people.
Yeah. So then we started having like one-on-one meetings with them weekly. That was too much. And they were also like, they thought they were getting like fired every time we were like, hey, come talk to us in the office.
We're like, no, we just want to make sure that we have like set time for you.
Yeah. And I'm like, I just want to make sure you're mentally like, okay, actually, you're not getting fired at all. It's like quite the opposite.
But like, wouldn't that right there kind of set off some like red flags that their work environment wasn't great in the past?
Yeah.
Or that people have this idea of this unsafe or like lack of communication type of like work environment.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy to think that, oh, you're going into a meeting with your boss and like the first thing you think of is, oh shit, I'm getting fired.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
I know. I mean, I think if the roles were reversed and like I was in the space that I had been in the past, I would be like, oh my God, yeah, I am getting fired.
I would 100% think the same thing, you know?
Why do you care?
Yeah. why are you giving a shit?
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
understand.
But that's, I think, what changes the game for small business owners.
Oh, yeah.
Is like, yeah, you are a small business. You have employees that are from all walks of life. Mm-hmm. What are they going through? How can you support them? Yep. Especially in an industry like this where we're really trying to build our stylists up and there's a lot of training involved. Mm-hmm. It's very special in that case. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, doing those check-ins though changed the game, and that's what really tightened the team.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line between being a boss and being a friend, but I really think that there needs to be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But I think what comes in between that is setting boundaries and respect and trust, being communicative, like on both ends.
Oh, yeah.
On, you know, the person who, the employer and the employee, like so incredibly important to actually make like the workspace run efficiently and give the place the atmosphere that you want it to have, the welcoming, safe space.
1,000%.
And I think you guys are definitely doing it, for sure.
Thank you.
Especially now that that little elf is gone. You could do it tenfold.
Oh, honestly, yes. Thank God the elf is gone. I kind of miss him. I wish I had more time where I knew about him.
Oh, my goodness. Did you know that? So what was the feeling, actually, like, before you went to the energy healer that, that you felt?
Well, I do attribute part of the feeling to the car accident I was in because I had a concussion that like wrecked me emotionally. I didn't know that concussions did that. First of all, I thought like you got concussions if you played football and they lasted 3 days. I didn't realize they were like this whole very serious thing.
I feel like, I mean, just like I was doing some work on brains yesterday. So like no brain surgeon or anything. I'm like,
what?
I was looking stuff up that was really interesting that apparently your brain, it does not matter whether you're feeling emotional pain or physical pain. Your brain processes the same exact way. So your brain processes physical pain and emotional pain in the same part of your brain. So it doesn't really tell you can't really tell the difference.
Yeah.
Or your brain can't really tell the difference.
Yeah, that's wild, actually.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking in regards to a concussion, I guess it would depend where in your brain you got the concussion.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that
you're feeling it emotionally.
Oh my God. right after the accident, I couldn't stop crying. Like, I couldn't stop crying. It was crazy. My freaking shout out to Megan, my acupuncturist. Honestly, she like called me. She's like, I heard you can't stop crying. Come to my house. And she's like, I'm just going to put a bunch of needles in your head. And I was like, okay. And I'm like crying on this table, this acupuncture table in her basement.
Like still consistently crying. Like
yeah.
You physically could not stop crying.
Yeah. It was hard to work. I had to like keep it in. It was crazy. I was emotional at all times. Yeah, and I
wouldn't have worn makeup for any of those days.
No. There was no mascara to be had.
I actually didn't wear mascara today. I forgot, but we'll say it's because just in case I have like a little happy cry with you.
Perfect. Yeah, so I feel like I was in this like depression, like a funk after that. And I was also just like stuck in this cycle of bad things are always happening to me. Like I just had this knee surgery, which I know that wasn't the case. Like I had the knee surgery and I was freaking out that I couldn't work. The salon did better when I wasn't here, which was very fucking humbling. But I was like, that's a little humbling. I know. I was like, damn.
Maybe they're like, we want to impress her while she's gone.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, it's all actually because they really wanted to work extra hard because I wasn't here.
Oh, okay.
But then like this car accident happens and my Jeep, which I like attached so much love to this material object. I loved my Jeep. Was totaled, you know? And then I was also like, you know, I have no control. I was hit from behind. There was nothing I could have done.
Yeah.
So I was like spiraling constantly.
Yeah.
And then I'm not going to say the elf being removed from my body is what really changed everything, but I did start to feel this sense of lightness.
Yeah.
And maybe it was a placebo thing and I just needed to change my mentality.
I was say that. I sometimes think that this is like for the people who don't believe in energy, that don't believe in intuitive ability, that don't believe in psychic ability, whatever. Yeah. This is for those people that don't believe in that. I really think that sometimes there's scientific proof about placebo effect. That if we believe something has been magically removed from us and we genuinely believe that we can actually start like this path to healing.
Yeah.
So if you don't believe in energy, like, I don't know, maybe believe it just to help you get on the right path forward.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sure in that moment you're like, okay, well, this little elf is gone, poof, bye. But you still are doing what you need to do to help your body physically, help yourself mentally to move forward.
Yeah. I actually had another placebo thing happen last year. That my friend Steph kept bringing up. I had to get a crown put in one of my teeth, like an onlay crown.
Yeah.
And the dentist came out and he's like, oh, the lab made a mistake. This crown is gold. And I was like, okay, I mean, it's my back molar. I guess I don't care, but like, I'm going to have a gold tooth. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, like what? I was like, who do I think I am? I mean, give me the gold tooth though, because I'm not coming back for this. Like, this is crazy. So I have a gold onlay crown in the back of my mouth. And when I got it, I was like, oh my God, I think that this gold crown is making me very abundant. Like, I was like, I got like a check in the mail for like $100 for like no reason. Like, all of these deals were happening for me in my favor. And I was like, oh my God, my gold tooth is just making me abundant. And I believed that for like probably a year. And I was like, all of these good things are happening. But it's not that I have a gold tooth and that's making me lucky or abundant. It's that I have the belief that I am now abundant.
It's true.
Exactly.
But I feel like I don't want to disregard the feeling that something can give you or the truth behind like an energy. But if it's gonna give you an effect the way like a placebo effect would, or like if you read those books like The Power of Now and things like that, I think our mindsets are so incredibly important to help like push us forward that like, fuck yeah, the gold tooth gave you some abundance.
Exactly. Yeah. Because it couldn't be me. It would have to be something external.
I think we're so hard on ourselves too in that way where we think that it has to be something else. It can't just be us.
Yep.
It can't just be that we're putting in the work, that we're doing like doing all the things that we need to push ourselves forward. It has to be the gold tooth. It has to be the removal of the elf.
Exactly. I was talking to my friend Stephanie about it because I also, your listeners are going to think I'm crazy. But
No,
a
'cause
month
I'm
ago.
the same. It's fine.
Hell yeah. So a month ago, I was driving in my now new car, and I'm driving behind this big truck. And it has a like bobcat, like one of those, I don't know, like one of those big machines, not a
Yeah.
crane, but one of those guys. It has a bobcat sticking out of the top. And I'm behind it, and it's going under an overpass.
Oh my God. Let me hold on to my seat for this story.
Yeah, so
Obviously you're here, so I know you're fine. Continue.
it hit the overpass, and chunks of cement came down. And of course, me driving like an idiot, I'm like kind of riding this guy's ass. I should not have been doing it.
It's fine.
I swerved out of the way. I was okay. But
Is your car fine?
my car's fine.
Wow, okay.
But like these giant chunks of cement would have hit my car. And I would have literally been final destination. And when it didn't happen,
You're sitting here.
yes.
Wow.
When it didn't happen, I texted my friend Steph, and I was like, oh my God, Steph, like, this just happened. Can you believe that? Do you think I'm cursed? And she's like, Nikki, first of all, you're not fucking cursed. Stop saying it. And she's like, you are divinely protected. She's like, you thought it was your gold tooth last year. She's like, it's you. It's not your fucking gold tooth. Stop trying to think that you need external things to validate you when it's just you. You as you are. Like, you as you are as a human being.
Yeah. And I think everybody needs to start to realize that. But if we have to use these little external things, like a gold tooth, a little elf, like, that's fine. Do it. I used to actually use, in relationships, I used to use my future daughter as my, like, little, I guess, placebo in a way. Because I'm like,
that.
I think there's every part of me. I think I'm just funny now, because I don't like when people kind of make the assumption that, oh, you'll have kids one day, because no, that's my choice. I could decide tomorrow I don't want to have kids, but I think within me I know I will. How that plays out, when that plays out, I don't know, and I'm not worried about it. I just let it go as it is.
Yeah.
But I know that I'm going to have a daughter, and I always use her as my. If I have a moment where I don't feel good enough or worthy enough of a situation that's not so good, I ask myself the question, would you allow this to happen to your future daughter?
Okay. That's crazy, because I literally started doing that this week.
No!
I'm like, I'm going to have a daughter, and would I allow this treatment of her? Would I let my daughter talk to herself the way that I'm talking to myself right now? How do I need to be for my future daughter so that I can raise someone who's strong? That's so crazy.
I am ecstatic. I am over the moon. I am so excited to tell you all about Bloom, an immersive self-love experience. This is my event. This is our event. This is the Self-Love Archives IRL in real life self-love event coming to Central New Jersey in 2025. This September 28th, you can experience over 100 vendors, over 600 attendees that are going to be in this one space wanting to love themselves more. They're there with that same idea, that same purpose of wanting to love themselves more. I created Bloom because I wanted there to be an immersive experience where you have all of the little things that you do for yourself to love yourself more, all in one space. So I'm talking grabbing your favorite book, planning a little hangout with your girls, getting some flowers for yourself, having a little bite to eat, just being in a space that is creative, that is aesthetic, that is fun. Basically, it's a self-love expo. With a little twist, because we like to keep things aesthetic. We like to keep things comfortable. We like to keep things welcoming at Bloom events. And there's really only one thing that I have to tell you about Bloom. It's that you deserve a day like this. So why not come? So why not spend a day loving yourself more? Pre-sale tickets are available on our website right now, but get them fast because there are only a certain amount of pre-sale tickets available. So I hope you'll grab a ticket. I hope to see you there. And I absolutely cannot wait to bloom together in 2025. So I want to go back to you starting to think of like your future daughter.
I think of it as like inspiration for how I'm treating myself.
Yes, because I think we always look at, I think some people use it as their friends or their sister, their best friend, or, asking the question, if someone's treating you badly, would you allow the way that you're being treated, in whatever way you're being treated, for someone to treat someone you love that way?
Exactly.
Because sometimes we put ourselves so low that we don't put ourselves at the same value as the people we love, because we see them as so high. Not that they're like better than us or anything like that, but we just see them as so valuable in our lives that we look at their value higher than our own. So that's such a strong question. If to like self-reflect on that, especially if you're getting that gut feeling of like, am I being treated the right way? Is this okay? If you can stop for a second and ask yourself that question, I think it could potentially change your life.
It's powerful.
Oh, yeah.
It's so powerful. And you know what? A lot of it came from thinking about the conversations I have with clients here. I have a lot of clients who are moms. You know, their daughters are, oh my God, their daughters are getting older. I've been doing their hair since the daughters were babies.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I have one client in particular, and she knows that I'm going to call her out on this. I love her very much, but she picks herself apart every time she sits in front of the mirror. She's a beautiful woman inside and out, but she's calling herself ugly. She would never dare say this about anyone else. She's ugly. She calls herself fat. She's saying all these things. She brings her daughter to her appointments. She's looking at herself in the mirror, and her daughter's sitting right next to her watching this. Ugh. And her daughter started saying, Mom, like, I need to lose weight. Her daughter's 12.
Gut wrench.
And her daughter goes to the bathroom at that, like, a couple minutes later, and the mom says, can you believe she says she needs to lose weight? She's beautiful. Like, she doesn't need to, you know? And she's perfect the way she is. And I had to say, and I don't like interjecting, but I felt like I've been knowing this family for 10 years. Clients end up becoming family with us a lot of times. And I said, and I had to do this for her daughter. And I said, do you think that she's learning this behavior from you? And I probably could have structured the question better because I was basically like, you're wrong.
Sometimes I think people need to hear it like straightforward. Like, she probably isn't even aware of the effect of how she treats herself can have an effect on her daughter. Yeah.
So she said, what do you mean? I said, well, I just watched you destroy yourself in the mirror. You just picked every aspect of your appearance apart. You know? And she was like taken aback. She didn't even realize she was doing it.
Yeah, I think it's like a subconscious thing that we do not even realize. And it's scary because when it's so like in our conscious, like in our subconscious, that we are doing it like that, we don't even realize the effect that it has on ourselves.
Yeah.
But especially other people, and especially the people that are, you know, we're supposed to be the like leader for, or like the for our kids. Like,
exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So after seeing that, you know, I thought about my future. Like, I want to have a baby one day. I do always have this vision that I'm going to have a daughter. And like, it would be a crime if my husband was not a girl dad. He was like...
I say the same thing, too.
Really?
Like, I would love to have, like, a boy, too. Like, I would love to just... A girl, a boy. I think most people kind of feel that way. But I feel like it would heal just, like, like both of our inner childs, to have someone who's just a like not someone, but like our kid, but like to have a representation of like us.
And just to maybe try to do it a little better this time around than what we had.
Oh yeah, your inner child. Because I'm sure that you see yourself within your daughter as like your child.
Yeah.
Where do you see, what parts of yourself do you see in her?
I would say strength, determination. Like we've talked about this obviously, but for those who don't know, I had a rough upbringing. There was a lot of physical and emotional abuse. And one thing that I pride myself on is the strength that it took to get out of that.
Yeah.
So I had an interesting childhood. She was very trying. And I feel like for the long time, actually, I didn't want kids because I was like, what did I have to learn? Like, who did I have to teach me how to be someone's guide and someone's leader?
Yeah.
You know? And as time went on and I started actually becoming a leader in my own business and in other people's businesses, I realized, like, I think that what I perceived as my weakness is going to be my strength. Like, knowing all of the things that have gone wrong are going to help me in the long run.
You know, there's a point in astrology that literally is that.
What do you mean?
It's called Chiron, and it's your pain and your healing. So it's where you have pain and it's where you find healing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really cool point, and I don't think that it gets enough knowledge or like it doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah, no.
But it's so interesting, especially when you read someone's chart and you look for that. I'm like, oh shit, I know your entire life.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Like if you have Chiron in the 8th house, the 8th house is like debts, inheritance, taxes. It's like a very interesting house, but it mostly has to do with money you can't see.
Interesting.
And if you have Chiron there, my first assumption is you most likely have some struggle with either things that you have inherited.
Okay.
Maybe you have a difficulty with, like you're in massive amounts of debt.
Okay.
But that's your learning, essentially.
Wow.
Like that's where you're going to learn a lot about yourself. And if you can push through that pain that you have in that area of your life, you can find healing.
Interesting. Yeah.
We have to see where yours is.
I know. I'm like, are we going to also do like a birth chart thing later?
Is your phone in the back?
I could turn it on. But yeah, I actually I thought about this a lot actually when you asked me to be on the podcast. Like when I was like, oh, what are we talking about? Like business? And you're like, no, Nikki, my podcast is actually called The Self-Love Archives. Like it's about self-love. And I was like taken aback. I was like, what does she mean? I can't talk about loving myself.
Yes, you can.
Yes, I can. But I had to think about it because I guess I never put intentional thought to it. And I was like, wow, I guess I really friggin' hate myself. Like, what the hell? And then I realized, like, no, the things that I've done to show self-love are just a little unconventional to other people. So having this difficult upbringing, I didn't really have boundaries with anyone. I didn't show myself that respect like you would want your daughter to show herself. And when I turned 28, when I was 28, I cut my whole family out of my life.
Funny.
Is that
it's
what?
Another astrology thing.
Is this my Saturn return?
And do you know what a Saturn return means essentially?
Usually like trials and tribulations.
Boundaries. Boundaries. The most significant parts of someone's life, like, those parts of our lives that we always think about are so big. Like when we get married, when we break up with someone, when someone passes away, when we cut people out of our lives, when we get a new job or we lose a job, like huge things happen around our Saturn return, and 28 to like 30 is when we go through our Saturn return. It depends, of course, like what, some specifics, but our Saturn return is about 2.5 years.
That is wild.
If you ask anybody, what happened when you were 28 to 30? What big things happened in your life?
Yeah.
And I could name some for anybody. Like someone.
That's crazy.
Me, my dad died.
Yeah.
Then you have my boyfriend, got a new job.
Yeah. Like all these crazy big things.
Nikki, cut her whole family out of her life.
Cut my whole family out of my life. My dad died. I opened a salon.
That's insane.
Yeah. Well, that was like 28 to 31.
Still.
Yeah.
Still like all a part of it in like the bigger picture. And now
that's crazy.
You're past your Saturn return.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
I don't fucking know. I'm getting evil elves extracted out of my body right now.
But it's crazy looking back on these parts of ourselves in that self-love journey of yours to be like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Look at all these things that I went through and look at who I am today. And maybe you're still in a place where you need growth in some spots and some places. I mean, we're always going to be constantly growing. But to see where you came from, where that 7-year-old Nikki came from is so wild. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Of course.
I'm proud of you.
No, I'm proud of you. This podcast isn't about me today. It's about you.
No, you hang up first.
No, you hang up.
Yeah. No, it is absolutely insane. But also, I want to thank you for inviting me onto this, because honestly, I needed to have those thoughts and to really like analyze why it felt so uncomfortable for me to be like, I'm going to talk about loving myself. What the hell? How do I get out of this?
No, I'm so glad you didn't want to get out of it.
No, I was like, I'm doing uncomfortable things because I need to grow.
But that's what it is. I mean, uncomfortable things are what help us grow.
Oh, yeah.
And a self-love journey is our entire life. It's not like a moment, or maybe there are some moments that like stick out, but it's our entire life. And a lot of that's going to be like really uncomfortable to look at ourselves in the mirror. Like I hope that client of yours does, and say, I love myself. It takes a lot. And sometimes you probably won't believe yourself, but it takes a lot to actually say it, do it, be about it, choose it, all the above.
And I think that there is something to be said about the idea that it can be easier for you to do it if you're like, oh, I'm not just doing this for me. I'm doing this for my future daughter.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for people who are looking that I might not even be aware of, people I'm inspiring that I'm not aware of. I mean, I think the one battle is to really get it to the point where you're like, no, I'm actually doing this for myself.
I think it's a good start. It's like doing it for someone else, especially if we're in a place where we don't feel so great, or we're in a really tough spot, like we're in an abusive relationship, or we're in a relationship with a friend that is really discouraging, and if we're in a place mentally where we just don't feel good about who we are, sometimes having that little bit of a crutch to use someone or something else that means a lot to us as the first step into our journey of loving ourselves can be so helpful.
Yeah.
But of course, it's a self-love journey. It's about the self. If we can come back to realizing that we're really doing this for us, because if we love ourselves, everyone will, flock to us in the ways that they're supposed to be in our lives.
Yeah.
We'll have great relationships around us. We'll have great people around us. Yeah. We'll have great things around us because we decided to say, no, I'm going to love me.
Yeah.
So that I can love you.
That was a fucking mic drop moment, sister.
I don't want to drop this. Thank you.
Yeah, don't drop the new mic, but
but it's so true. And what do you think about to kind of like bring this all full circle? Like we're in an email, but it's my favorite saying, bring this full circle. What would you say is the biggest part of your self-love journey that got you? What's the biggest thing that got you from, since we're on 7-year-old Nikki.
Yeah.
From 7-year-old Nikki to who Nikki is today?
I think it's taking the time to honor and reflect on the difficult things that I've done and the way that I've kind of gone against the odds. Like the way that I was raised, I don't think a lot of people would have been able to handle. I have 2 sisters, and they're, my younger sister, she's trying her hardest to do okay. She's starting her own journey and, healing from our childhoods. And she's like, I don't know how you did it. And I always tried to protect her.
Yeah.
Like she didn't know that the craziness was going on for the most part because I was trying to protect her from it.
Yeah.
But I think that allowing myself to feel proud of who I am because of what I've been through is the biggest part. And for a long time, I thought that I was being a pompous jerk for being like, I've done it. I can do this. I have confidence because I've gone through worse shit. But I think stepping into that has allowed me to become a better leader, a better wife, a better friend, a better communicator, all of those things.
Yeah. Of course. I love that so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. I
Thank
appreciate you.
I can't wait to see you again in 2 days for a blowout.
I know. I can't wait to get my hair done. It's going to be stunning.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I love you.
I love you. Thank you so much always for tuning in to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed having this conversation with Nikki. Such a sweet, kind soul and such an amazing story. And I hope you felt like this conversation was as if you were just in a circle of best friends, because that's truly how it felt. Editing this video, I felt like I was just like watching our conversation on FaceTime all over again. And I hope you learned a little bit about yourself from this episode. And of course, as always, don't forget to love yourself a little bit more this week. I will see you in just 2 weeks for our next episode, where we talk all about Bloom and all of the super exciting things coming. Thank you for listening once again. I love you so much. Have the best week ever, and I'll see you soon. Bye.